We think of dogs as protectors, barking at the door, growling at strangers, standing between us and danger. But what if their protection runs deeper than noise and muscle? What if dogs are not just sentinels of sound, but sentinels of soul? You might invite someone into your home who seems perfectly nice. They smile, they speak kindly, they pass every human test of trust. But your dog stiffens, their tail lowers, their eyes narrow. They position themselves between you and the guest, not aggressively, but deliberately. You laugh it off. He's just being weird. But what if he's not? What if your dog sees something you don't? Dogs don't just hear what we miss. They feel what we ignore. Dogs are neurologically wired to read us. Their brains are tuned to human emotion in ways that even primates don't match. A 2014 study from the University of Vienna found that dogs can distinguish between happy and angry human faces. Not just expressions, but emotional intent. Another study from the University of Lincoln showed that dogs integrate vocal tone and facial expression to assess emotional congruence. In other words, they know when someone's smile doesn't match their voice. They sense dissonance, and they don't just read us, they remember. Dogs form emotional associations with people based on subtle cues, posture, scent, tone, even microexpressions. They build emotional maps of our world, and when something doesn't fit, they flag it. They're not just reacting to what's happening, they're reacting to what's about to happen. To understand this, we need to go back, way back, before the leash, before the kibble, before the couch cuddles. Dogs evolved from wolves who survived by reading the environment with precision. A rustle in the grass wasn't just a sound, it was a story. A scent on the wind wasn't just information, it was a warning. That hypervigilance didn't disappear when they joined our campfires. It adapted. Dogs became emotional thermometers, social barometers. They didn't just protect us from predators, they protected us from each other. In ancient China, dogs were believed to ward off evil spirits. In Celtic mythology, they guarded the gates between worlds. In modern homes, they guard the gates between comfort and threat, sometimes in ways we don't understand until it's too late. They are the original security system. No batteries, no subscription, just instinct. Dogs have up to 300 million olfactory receptors. We have about 6 million. That's not just a difference, it's a different universe. They can smell cortisol, adrenaline, illness, even subtle shifts in pheromones that signal stress, fear, or aggression. They don't just smell what someone is, they smell what someone is becoming. This is why dogs can detect seizures before they happen, why they can alert to cancer, diabetes, and emotional breakdowns. They're not psychic, they're perceptive. And when they bark at someone who seems nice, they may be detecting a cocktail of stress hormones, microaggressions, or emotional incongruence that we, with all our social filters, miss entirely. They're not judging character, they're reading chemistry. But protection isn't just physical, it's emotional. Dogs offer a kind of psychological safety that's hard to quantify but easy to feel. They regulate our nervous systems, lower our blood pressure, increase oxytocin. They give us permission to feel safe, to be vulnerable, to let our guard down. And when someone threatens that, when a guest brings tension, even if it's hidden, dogs notice. They react. Not always with aggression, but with presence. They move closer. They lean in. They become the shield. They don't just bark at danger, they absorb it. Let's be honest, your dog is probably a better judge of character than your last 3 dates. They don't care about charm. They care about congruence. They're like furry lie detectors with no tolerance for emotional nonsense. They don't swipe right, they sniff wrong. And when they bark at your new friend, maybe it's not rudeness, maybe it's a red flag in fur. Dogs don't do small talk, they do soul talk. So what do you do when your dog reacts to someone? Don't dismiss it. Dogs don't just bark, they communicate. Observe the context. Is it fear, guarding, discomfort? Misalignment? Watch for patterns. Does your dog react to certain tones, postures, or behaviors? Trust the tension. If your dog consistently reacts to someone, ask yourself why. Protect the bond. Your dog's loyalty is earned. Honor it by listening. Sometimes the best therapist in the room doesn't speak. They just sit beside you and stare at the door. Throughout history, dogs have been protectors, not just of property, but of people. In ancient Rome, Molossian hounds guarded estates and accompanied soldiers. In medieval Europe, dogs slept beside children to ward off evil spirits. In indigenous cultures, dogs were seen as spiritual guides, beings who could sense danger before it arrived. Even today, dogs are trained to detect explosives, drugs, and emotional distress. But some of their most powerful detections aren't trained. They're felt. There are countless stories of dogs warning owners about abusive partners, dangerous strangers, or even natural disasters. They don't need a certificate. They need a connection. Dogs operate on a different trust algorithm than humans. We trust based on words, gestures, social proof. Dogs trust based on energy, scent, and consistency. They don't care about your resume. They care about your rhythm. When someone walks into your home and your dog reacts, it's not a glitch. It's a signal. And while it's tempting to override that signal with politeness or logic, remember, your dog doesn't have social filters. They have survival instincts. In your last walk, the leash was a mirror. In this one, it's a compass. Your dog isn't just walking beside you. They're guiding you toward safety, toward truth, toward emotional clarity. They are the guardian at the gate, the therapist in fur, the friend who doesn't care about politeness, only about protection. So next time your dog barks at someone who seems nice, don't just hush them. Ask them what they know that you don't, because sometimes the safest place in the world is behind your dog. If this episode helped you see your dog in a new light, give it a like, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more science-backed, heart-led insights into the dogs who walk beside us and sometimes protect us from what we can't see.